Hi, I'm H.G. Watson with Daily Xtra. Today we're talking with Shahla Khan Salter, who's the director of Universalist Muslims based in Ottawa, Ontario. Shahla, you have spoken out in support of the sex ed curriculum. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit why.
Well, first of all, like you said, I'm director of an organization called Universalist Muslims, and part of our goal is to spread egalitarian understandings of Islam and Muslims and universal human rights. And we advocate for universal human rights both inside and outside the mosque. Inside the mosque, we're concerned with creating spaces that are safe, that are LGBTQ affirming, that are promoting the self-determination of women and sexual minorities, safe spaces. And outside the mosque, we're involved in causes like this one, promoting the new sex ed curriculum of Premier Lynn, which we believe is really a breakthrough and could really transform, hopefully, our society in making it a safer society as well. I'm also a mom. I've got 3 kids in the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board public education system. So as a mother as well, I'm very concerned, and I am very much a proponent of this new sex ed program.
What is it that you in particular like about the new sex education curriculum?
Well, knowledge is power. Our Prophet Muhammad even said, seek knowledge, even as far as China. And we believe that this is very important. Knowledge will empower our children and youth. Knowledge will protect them. It will also show them where boundaries lie. And in particular, this particular new sex ed curriculum brings up the issue of consent. So children and youth will learn about consent, and consent is really empowering to know about, because with consent, you realize that you don't have to say yes, that you can abstain, and you can say no. You can say no for any reason that you want as well. You can say no for religious reasons. You can say no because you're not ready. You can say no because it would be completely inappropriate to say yes. And this really will empower and protect kids and youth as well. And also will make them more respectful, them more compassionate, and understand, like I said, where the boundaries lie, so they do not overstep those boundaries as well.
You wrote in a recent Huffington Post article about the curriculum that you found it very telling that people opposed to the curriculum didn't want their kids to know about transgender or queer identities. What about that do you think is telling?
Well, there is homophobia out there, and it is important that we break through those barriers and we teach people, even people who may come from different schools of thought, that respect is very important. Now, the thing about this curriculum, it's been criticized that it is usurping the parents' role, but really it's not. If kids have this opportunity to learn about issues relating to sexuality, biology, law, gender studies, psychology at school, as tax-paying parents, it's very important that we use all the arsenal at our disposal to be able to arm our kids with all of this knowledge. The kids will then come home and they will ask us about all of these topics, and there will be even more communication, not less. We will be able to promote our own values. That will not disappear. I guess what's important to remember is that if kids are in class and they're learning about all of these issues that are related to sexuality, which includes biology, gender studies, psychology, law, then they're going to come home and they're going to talk about these issues with their parents, and they're going to ask questions, and the lines of communication are going to be open.
Do you think that there should even be the opt-out provision written into this curriculum? Because I mean, parents can choose for their children not to have to take part in these sex ed classes.
Having this opt-out really shouldn't be such a big deal, but I would never recommend to any parent that they pull their kids out of class and that they don't allow them to have the opportunity to obtain all of this information. I think that is really fear-based, and part of the problem is that issues surrounding sexuality have been used to shame and silence people for many, many years. And there are so many communities still that regard issues of sexuality with a great deal of shame, that they fear. There's so much fear in terms of envisioning their children even learning about something like this. And I think that that really does have to end.
We've spoken to some of the other people that have been outspoken in support of the sex ed curriculum, and they've talked about maybe doing things like protests in favor of it or different demonstrations. Is that something you and Universalist Muslims are interested in doing, or do you have any actions organized at this time?
At this time, we've been doing is promoting our position on social media, in blogs. For example, you mentioned my blog on Huffington Post. As well, I have emailed the Premier and Minister Sandals thanking her for the changes to the new curriculum and updating the curriculum, and I have encouraged other people to do so. And one of the things that I have done, or rather not done, was on May 4th, when there was that huge protest and people were pulling their kids out of school, I did not pull any of my kids out of school. I left my kids in school, and I will not be pulling my kids out of school for any reason having to do with this issue at any time in the future.
I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Well, thank you so much for having me on here. I really appreciate it.